Hey there guys, Geelong-Flipper here, Uncle Flip, your mate Tori. Before we go off to the offsite, I just thought I'd just hope that everyone's had a really good weekend, good sales. And all right, let's get to the offsite and we'll pick and pack some orders. Tori here, Geelong-Flipper. Hey guys, Tori.
Your mate Tori.
Geelong-Flipper here.
Tori here.
Geelong-Flipper.
Me, Tori. Tori here, the
Geelong-Flipper.
How you doing? Oh wow, someone's smoking crack. Legends, Tori here, Geelong-Flipper, your mate Tori. Not flipping, selling, doing stuff. We're at the offsite. We're going to be picking, there's not many orders, but I'll gas bag to you just for a little bit. And exciting news. So as I've been telling you guys, this area here, because of my over buying of stock, some of it's good, some of it not so good. We're in the process of finding that out together. We have, it's exciting news. In about 10 to 11 days. Did I mention I had a haircut? Hi. We have entered into an agreement to get a new little facility on site. I jokingly say it's a warehouse. It's a 3x3 in here, but we are upgrading to a 6x4. That will be a game changer. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. Ali's excited for it. The other side of it is too, there's a couple of things that we've got that are bigger, and I'm super keen to be able to store them here and not at home, because that doesn't work. In any case, this is the intro, hi. And, or the other thing was the intro actually with the headband. I got that yesterday. One Vinnie's, I think I picked up about 7 or 8 Care Bears. Although some kid said, hey, I don't want to be a child anymore. And I put up my hand and said, yeah, I'll do it. All right, so I'm going to leave this running today. I'm going to go grab my sandwich, grab my coffee. Yeah, basically going to grab some stuff. Ali's here, she's going to grab some of her tubs. But we'll get cracking into it, and I look forward to having a bit of a chat to you guys. Alrighty. I wanted to also acknowledge something. So I would say a huge thank you to both Kim and Joe for giving the super thanks on the video I did. Ladies, that was really, really thoughtful. I've got my toasty, I've got my coffee, and the very next coffee, and it's thanks to you guys. Thank you for being so kind and giving me some coffee money. It's not necessary, but it's highly appreciated. And also, I think I did on video, but I want to acknowledge it just to make sure. I had not realized, because YouTube didn't tell me, but when I did the video about the Winnie the Pooh, that I said, oh, you know, I don't mean to be rude, but is this $20? Because it didn't look like it was, even though it was awesome. I didn't realize at the time because YouTube did not show me, but Flutter by Flipper actually did a super thanks of $10 there by literally, she bought me the Winnie the Pooh. So I was thanking her, or trying to, and YouTube kept deleting my message, and I reached out personally, but I wanted it to be caught on camera, mate. That was really nice, because you know how hard I got trolled after doing that video. I don't get it. I don't get people sometimes, but we're all good friends here. So cheers to everyone. Thank you so very much. And I'll clear this stuff out, and we'll go from there. First things first, there is not a lot of stuff to get out today, so I don't think it's an exciting picking video. I had some good sales yesterday, which is fabulous. Today was more about Ali and I coming out to have a look at the larger unit, because, you know, it does involve an additional increase of price. Also, I thought I should say this, because so many of you were really thoughtful with your comments. But a common was, hey, Flip, have you thought about like just renting a bigger place? And it was thoughtful and was well thought out. But that's our house, like that's our unit. So that we have a mortgage on. So it's not like just like, oh, well, now I want to get a bigger place, I can just go and rent one. No, I'm financially invested in that. That's our home. It's small, but it's ours. And I love it. So yeah, this for us is a far better choice. And it sort of does separate the intention is it will pretty much separate work and home. Except we'll still probably list from home, but it'll only be like a tub at a time. I'm excited by it. And I've been doing a lot of culling too of my stock. So a lot of stuff happening in the back scenes. I'll catch you all up. Let me get this stuff out. I brought more tubs. I think I told you guys, or you guys told me, hey, these tubs are on wheels. Why don't you put those shoes into tubs? So I'll do that. And I only got 6 though, and they're the 50 litre ones. Finally, I'm getting the 50 litre tubs. They are a lot smaller, but they don't go out like that. They're flat, so there may actually be a bit more room in them. Sorry, I just got a bite to eat. So the idea is, I'll move some of these shoes into the tubs, that way I can just wheel them out, and then when we move into the new space, they can go and just be sorted nice and easily. It's exciting, but I'm nervous, And I was that excited about coming out today, I forgot to bring my iPad, I forgot to bring the overhead light. I took it home to charge it. But it won't affect anything. I think majority of the time, unless I go, hey, look, it's more of a listening show. I may have mentioned, though I can't recall, I work on a lot of books at the same time. If you're a new viewer, firstly, hi, thank you, please subscribe. But I also write books, and I just finished up my 11th novel, guys, The Dead of Easter. The first draft is done, in the editing process now. I'm going to try to fast track that to have it out just before Easter, that people can have a bit of a zombie Easter story. But yeah, I'm stoked. Roughly 42,000 words, which equates to about 190 odd pages. So not a big book, but none of the books in that series are overly large. I know I did a written post about it, but I don't know if I set it on video. So there you go. There's your video notification. It's going to be interesting recording from the new off-site, because it does face out. I was feeling a bit weird about that, but we'll find some way of barricading it up just a little bit, both for me to record and just to protect the stock a bit. I've been thinking about limiting. Hi guys, I'm just Tori here in the dark. Actually, I just love the little light. It just won't be very effective. It's not exactly like the one I use. But anything is better than nothing. I've been thinking about taking off some of the countries from the international shipping list that I do. I don't know if you guys have had any issues with stuff like that, but there's a few countries that I have issue with. Not with the countries, just with my stuff arriving to my customer. And one of them is the Middle East. The majority of things that I send out that way, I do have issue getting it to the customer. And I don't know if it's because the way that they set things up with their addresses sort of screws with how Aussie Post does it. But there was one guy who insisted that, oh my God, I know that's a big video game pile over. Lights, camera, action. Ages ago, there was a guy who I sent a video game to, and he insisted that his address was correct. And I mean, he lives there, he would know. And I mean that without sarcasm, but there wasn't even a street. There wasn't a street on file with eBay. And I was like, you know, hi, your address doesn't look the same as our addresses do. There's no street, there's no number. And I don't know if he was an influential person over there. He's like, no, it's fine. That address is fine. It'll get to me. Needless to say, it got returned as undeliverable from Saudi. So I've noticed that. And I've noticed a lot of, at the moment, I'm getting quite a few non-payment people from Southern American countries. I always try to ask for payment and stuff in Spanish. Believe it or not, I don't think I've shared this with you guys. I speak a smattering of heaps of languages. I love languages. And in some of the cases, my understanding is I can just say phrases. In other cases, I can, if you speak really, really slowly to me, like a very small child, I've got a very basic understanding of German, very, very, very basic. I can speak very, very basic Japanese, and the conversation would be limited. I know phrases in Hindi, one of the Indian languages. And then there's a little bit of Arabic, not conversational, just enough to be polite. Most of it I always wanted to be polite. In Spanish, if you spoke to me like, I would say, a 5-year-old, talked like a 5-year-old talked, I can speak Spanish. So I'll just taught myself through Duolingo. But when I've spoken to people from those countries, they've said, yeah, we understand what you're saying. So cool, buy something off me. But those countries, sorry. Those countries are problematic with stock, and in some countries, like one of my editing team for my books, she lives in the Philippines. I don't think she watches this, but hi Sam. And when she's finishing editing one of my books, I've said to her, I'll send you a signed copy as a thank you, that she can have a physical copy of it. And she's like, do not even bother. Our mail system pretty much steals everything. And I've heard that from other people in the Philippines that I'm friends with. And I've gone to send them little gifts and stuff. And they're like, don't do it. As soon as they work out it's not just a letter, chances are we never get it. Which is a sad indictment. But, if you're sending anything of value, you do want it to get to where it's meant to be going. Particularly if you're selling something that's a little bit more upmarket than just a video game. Because even though we complain about our postal system sometimes, even though it's expensive, and I do believe it's a bit expensive, but at least you know, it's very rare that they screw up to the point that the item never gets there within Australia. Okay, area is clear. I'll just get the other tubs out of the car. Hang on. I think a show or two ago, I did ask the question on there and you guys did answer, so I always do appreciate that. But the thing that I was asking at the time was, do you guys, if you're around Geelong or, you know, the surrounding area, which I know many of you are not, and that's cool because I like to learn about different areas too. But I asked you guys, was the quality or the amount of donations going through your op shops, thrift shops, did it seem to be dropping? And you guys came to the party and answered, and it seems encouraging. Some people are saying that the stuff on the other side of Melbourne, which is the next biggest city from me, in case you're not familiar, Melbourne's the capital city of Victoria, Geelong's the next biggest city. We're about 70 kilometres divided. But yeah, people in Melbourne way were saying, no, things aren't too bad up here. So I think in terms of sourcing, it may be Melbourne is the go for us for a little bit. I know that when I've been going to the Savers and doing those runs, you guys have seen the treasure I've been getting, so I've been very grateful for that. I've been picking up the odd good thing here, but I must admit I was disappointed. You guys found out I bought that Hasbro robotic interactive dog. I was so excited for it because honestly, I am a child at heart and I just wanted to play with it for a bit before I sold it. And undid it, and I thought this is going to make me good money regardless. It's about 50 odd bucks if it's parts, and it is just a bit over $100 if it works. And I paid $4, got it home, and the battery compartment had corroded. And I think that does lead to the question also that we do need to look at here. The providers of these secondhand goods, whether they're for profit or not for profit, they're still selling them for money and they are making profit. I do think, guys, if you're in that space, maybe raise this internally, but there's a duty of care. Now, I know you can look at that and go, well, Tori's just upset because he didn't get to make $100. And that's true. But I'm not the only person who goes into those oppos. Kids go into them, and most certainly, as you guys said on the comments, there is a duty of care and a safety thing. If there's a corroded or swelling battery in that compartment and some smaller child, like that's literally acid coming out of the battery. If a small and that's toxic. I think it might have been Mel that said that, and I agree. There is literally battery acid coming out of it that's corroding in the older things. Some kid opens it up or it bursts when they're playing with it. That's not a good time for anyone. So I would raise that thing that if you're a volunteer in a toy area at an op shop, and I know plenty of volunteers watch this, or if you're a manager at an op shop or an area manager, because I also know you guys watch this too, I would humbly suggest to you that you guys, if there are, give your volunteers or staff the tools to open up these toys and double check them. Double check that they're working. Some of the oppos actually do put tested and working on battery operated, and I think everyone should, because you know, there's a very good chance that, yeah, I would have missed out on buying the robot dog for spare parts, but I bought it thinking it might have worked. And I noticed that like a lot of shops put tested and working, but this shop doesn't. And it is a Vinnie's, and it's not because it's Vinnie's. I've bought broken stuff from other places where they've told me it worked. Vinnie's didn't tell me it didn't work. They just had $4 on it for a toy. But yeah, a corroding toy is a safety risk. So, you know, something to think about. All right, I didn't bring anything because I'm disorganized. I am going to There's only 3 things to pick, guys, so not a huge show. We'll then put the shoes into tubs so I can think of other stuff that we may need to address or that I may have overlooked. And I hope that your day's going super well, and I do hope that these videos are providing you with companionship to keep you listening as you're listening to me crap on. All right, so let me check my thing. Like I said, I've only got 3 things unless something sold in the last hour. All right, well, that is a bit of good news. It looks like I may have just got an order come through then. Not a big one, $30 order, but I'm grateful for every bloody dollar that I make. As you guys know, we work extremely hard to find things that people want. And as far as I'm concerned, even though sometimes I may sound like I am, like, you know, contradicting myself, I'm so grateful for every sale I get. Generally, though, I think the main way that I do, that light is poor, but it's the best I've got, guys. The way I need to start viewing things, well, no, not start, because I already do it. But as you know, I wear my heart on my sleeve with a lot of things, as I always keep saying. But I do have gratitude. I have gratitude that you guys even put up with listening to me. It's a blessing, you know. The friends I've made through YouTube, I am the luckiest person. So I'm extremely grateful for all of those things, but I do find, and you guys might actually agree with me, chances are when we have a sale that is not great, yeah, let me just say it. If we have a sale that's not great, there's no one to blame but ourselves. That's a thumbnail if I remember it. Actually, that might not be a bad title for today. There's no one to blame but me. It's the truth. It's not a bad thing. It's just we're all learning, aren't we? And sometimes, you know, you've got to not be bullish about it, and you've got to just cop it and go, okay, I screwed up. Like, for example, recently I told you guys about the sale I did. I think I did it, was it during a live stream? I don't know. But basically, I did a sale and I'd lowered the price because the stuff wasn't selling, but I lowered it to the point that I sold a book or a game or something. It was for or a movie actually, for $6. Now, I had it as a promoted listing, which I didn't change or look into. That's my fault, not the customers. So I did that. That's my fault. And by the time I had finished processing everything, it was a negative sale, a negative dollar sale. And there is no one to blame but me. And I've just got to wear that. That's just how it is. Same as this sale here. It's going to be a mixture of good and bad. I'm going to come out on top, but maybe not to the extent that I thought I was going to, because I do sell internationally. And this Offspring set, I told you guys about it, but they hadn't paid at the time. They have since paid. So it's a 7. This is one to look out for. You do see it in a lot of op shops. If you get all 7 of them, you can command over $100 for it. I was lucky. I paid $7. I paid $1 a season. They didn't care there were multiple discs. They said, no, it's just per case. So $7. I sold them for $120. There's a bit of weight to them. I'm going to pop them in a padded bag, and they'll be on their way to Canada later today. The part where it's my fault is I am pretty sure that when I did that listing, I was a foolish fool, and I only factored the post for, I think, for within Australia. I'll double check it when I have to check my next thing to pick. But I am pretty sure that I might have robbed myself, which means that juicy, beautiful profit that I should be making will be eaten by me having to cough up a little bit for the post if I did it inaccurately. I hope I didn't, because I have been getting into a real habit of anything that does have any weight I just weigh it. It takes 2 seconds. Calculator post, guys. And I have been asked by Foulmouth Flipper, I have been asked to do a short video on how to do calculator posts. So I will do that for you guys, because that's a pretty easy one. But I do think I'll save you over time thousands of dollars by encouraging you to do it. So don't follow my example. All right, let me just pop this out there so as I know it's done. Then we'll check the next thing to grab. And then, yeah, the last one is a pair of shoes. And like I said, I was listing so much at the time, careless. I don't think I put the tub or the shoe thing on. So I'm gonna have to hunt for it. But the good thing is that we are putting stuff into shoe tubs. So I should come across it. I do know the shoes, they're a silvery color, so they're quite distinct. They should be easy enough to find. Oh, and I do want to say this. Let me get my coffee. I do want to say this, and I'm sorry for taking it like picking talk for this, but today, the 19th of March, 2025, my nephew Isaac, the most beautiful boy, he's not a boy now, he's a man, he just turned 18 today. I phoned him in the morning. He doesn't watch this. I don't think he does. He thinks it's funny that his Uncle Tori does YouTube, but I don't think he watches me. But just in case you ever do, mate, cheers to you. You're such a beautiful kid, and I'm so very, very proud of you. So I've been thinking about you. I've already spoken to you. I've already chucked, well, that money in the bank account. He got a good paycheck today off me. I've been saving for a couple of years to make sure I had the money. I did it for his niece as well. So yeah, I'm proud that I was able to do that, mate. And I love you. And you said, you don't need to do it. Yeah, I do. I love you. Happy birthday, Isaac. Happy 18th. No, you probably won't ever see this, but the memory of your birthday will live long past, you know, well, at least my time anyhow. Happy birthday, mate. All right, guys, back to picking. That was a bit emotional. He's such a beautiful kid, guys. You just adore him. He's handsome as a supermodel. He's about, I don't know, 6'2" or something, and he's 18. He may even be taller. I don't know. He's tall. But he's got a heart of gold, and I'm so proud of him. So let me check the next thing. I'm going to finish this and have a little bit of a teary moment for my nephew. All right, tub 39. It's on the ground. So we'll go and get it. Oh, hi, spooky. This was just another one of those cheap and cheerfuls. I was listing tub stuff, living that tub life, as we all do. And this book, I don't know if this will fall on my head or not. I'm still here, hi. This book sold for $8 with $10 shipping. And people are funny. I always say I charge shipping. I always say sometimes it's hard because I know you guys listen to the YouTubers and take advice and do other bits and pieces. And I made the comment that it's difficult sometimes because a lot of these YouTubers tell you that they made X amount of money without divulging that out of that profit, they've got to pay the postage. I'm not saying it's intentional, but even if it's not, it's misleading. Because a lot of you are getting started, and you're even looking to people like me. My 90-day total is now about 17,800, which I'm proud of because I worked hard for it. But yeah, it is one of those things. It's like you guys, not you guys, a couple of people got their knickers in a twist because I spoke about, oh, you know, I think people should be reminded that they're giving away the postage. and yeah, had a bit of a crack at me. Well, not a crack, well, kind of a crack in the comments. I wasn't saying that anyone's doing anything wrong deliberately, but there is guilt by omission, isn't there? It's like, you know, it's technically me. I am guilty by omission, because when I say I paid, I think, 20 cents for this book and I sold it for $8, and then I'm charging the postage, then I'm not telling you how much eBay charged me or my promoted listing rate, am I? But we all know that eBay charges. So that part, it's like, that's the double-edged sword, isn't it? It's like, we all know that eBay charges, so it's common sense that I don't have to say every time, oh, you know, eBay charged me, blah, blah, blah. It might be interesting for viewers to see that. I'm not doing it. It would take too much time. But the flip side is, I do think when there's a cost as significant as shipping, it should be divulged by us people who decide to put ourselves on camera. It should be divulged that, hey, all that money that it sounds like I'm getting is not what I got. Because not only are they having to pay for their postage, but guess what, guys? They also had to pay the eBay fees afterwards. So they're double losing, but at the same time, they're also not telling us, and I count myself because I watch a lot of reseller YouTube. You know, it's I think one of the most naive things we can say is that we've got nothing to learn, or that we think that our way of doing stuff is so good that we don't need to get inspiration from other people. It's funny, one of the channels I watch for inspiration is not even my niche. And I've mentioned it before, and I'll probably mention it more than once. Tekken Sports, T-E-C-H-N Sports. It's this guy, at first I found him abrasive because he's quite blunt, kind of like I am. Probably found myself abrasive if I wasn't so charming. And he drops knowledge bombs almost every single YouTube video that he puts out. As far as I'm concerned, he's one of the most inspiring accounts that I watch. Because he went from, sorry, I just hit the phone. He went from nothing to clearly a very successful business model. Fabulous. I do take inspiration from him. But yeah, I don't do a lot of clothes and I don't wholesale them. But interestingly enough, this is the cool thing. We can learn from each other. One, I like a lot of the YouTube, the American YouTube clothing resellers. I get inspiration from that. But I also feel the desolation from realizing that a lot of the brands that they've got is like, oh, I just picked up another Lululemon. I just picked up another, you know, Ralph Big Pony, stuff I would look for when I'm looking for clothes, isn't as abundant over here. Like, if you pick up Ralph, the Oppos put bloody $10 on it, even if it's not a good one. They see that little dancing pony doing its little pony dance, and they chuck big dollars on it. Though, having said that, yesterday when I was out thrifting briefly and I picked up all those Care Bears, which I didn't tape. I wasn't taping yesterday. I was just going, it was on my day off. I just went out for me. I picked up about 7 or 8 Care Bears from one shop, but in the nearby area at a little community op shop, I picked up a really decent quality R.M. Williams polo for $1. I picked up Country Road jeans for 50 cents. Oh God, the name keeps escaping me. Hang on. Thank you. Now, if you didn't hear Ali, it was True Religion. I keep forgetting it. Thank you. So picked up some True Religions as well. They comp for between 40 to 60 bucks. So always check your little oppos. But yeah, some of the pricing here is janky. But then I see that the stuff that they're looking for, and yeah, it's they have abundance. Like, they seem to go to their Goodwills, and that stuff is just there. Of course, there's over 300 million people buying clothes, whereas I don't even know what Australia's population is now, probably 30 odd million, maybe. But it is interesting to see. But we do have our own sort of bolo brands. Like, we do have our R.M. Williams, we've got R.B. Sellers, we've got our Thomas Cook. The sort of brands, like, Australians do really seem to resonate with either surfing brands because we are an ocean-based society, or they really resonate with the bush because in our bones we were sent over here as convicts back in the day, and I think that farming and that sort of mentality came with it, working hard on the land. So those brands seem to really resonate. They are toughly made. They are built to be durable. You've got your Dryzabona oilskins, all those things that we look for as Aussies. We love our car brands. There's a soft spot for Holden that doesn't exist anymore. So there's also those exciting things as well. So they're the brands that you should be looking for, just for everyday good returns. And then, of course, if you know your clothing, looking through the women's sections, I tend to just Google search any brand that looks odd to me or sounds fancy. And sometimes you get a banger. Okay, so there's some of the brands to look for. But yeah, clothing selling in Australia is a far different kettle of fish. But there are plenty of people grabbing some great brands, and I find that sort of stuff really encouraging, guys. So I think that's super cool. Now, another item that we're picking at the moment, it's an anime series. It's called Blood Plus. When I got it at the time, it was in a bulk lot of stuff that, to be honest, it was like I was at an op shop, they were throwing everything out. And I said, well, can I at least pay a little bit and grab some stuff? They said, sure. And I filled up a huge box with hundreds of things that they were throwing out. Part of why I've got let's call it a stock problem or a stock opportunity. And this disc was in it. And the one disc, it's a 5-disc case. The one DVD, though, went for $169. I did have it up for $199. Someone showed interest in it, and I thought to myself, just send an offer. If they say no, that's fine. But it didn't cost, like, literally it would have cost me cents. And I think with the amount of stuff I got in that haul, when I say cents, I don't even mean 10 cents. It would have been less than 10 cents. So that was an offer that I was very happy to send out, and I was so excited when it was accepted because sales had been down, and the customer, thank you if you watch, paid very quickly, and I'm going to be delighted to get that sent out to them, because I think that will be a good time indeed. So yeah, that was exciting, and I'll show you it. So that DVD got me $169. Look out for this one, guys. But yeah, it's in very good condition, and it's little stuff like that that lets me know I'm on the right track doing what I'm doing. I may not always get it right, but I love the fact that, thanks to someone buying that off me, it's, let's just call it after tax, like it's 1/7 of what I pay myself in the week for one disc that I paid cents for. And that should be a lesson to you guys getting started. I've shown you how to scan with the barcode reader on your phone. I will do another one doing that. I think I'm going to have to re-explore all of those things for you. Go to your local op shops. Go to wherever you buy secondhand stuff from. Even if it's embarrassing, scan the barcodes, type them in. If you don't have a lot of money, there's every chance you can, but if you've got, say, $20, you might be able to come home with 20 to 30 DVDs. You may be able to say to someone at a market, if I grab this many, can you do me a deal? They go, yeah, 50 cents each or whatever. And just like that, you started your small business. So cool. Now, there's the pair of shoes left to get. I'm going to have to forage around a fair bit for them, but that's okay. I might, when I do that part, I might turn the camera off just because I'll be able to glance in at some of them. I'll check the tubs first, so I'll keep the camera on for that. But yeah, it's just, that'll be the final thing today. And it's interesting because when I get to, today is Wednesday, so, technically if anything sells today, I've got to get it out by Friday. But then after that, I do come back to the offsite because I don't like getting caught out on Mondays. So I come out here then and, record a bit of stuff for you guys. And then I try to get everything ahead that on, Monday and Tuesday, I'm doing a lot less than normal. So, because whilst I don't take Mondays off, if they can be a little bit lazy, I think that's good too. Okay, so we'll start off looking in the tubs, but then I think we'll be proceeding to these bags, and then we're going to move some of those bags into the new tubs I bought because they're on wheels, and that'll help a little bit. I only had they cost me $40. They are a lot smaller looking at them, but they'll be a lot more manageable and they'll fit on the shelving better, particularly in the new offsite. I'm excited for that. That's good. Okay. So I'm going to quickly just check my listing to make sure I didn't put the tub location in somewhere that I just didn't notice. I don't think I did. An oversight on my part. So guess I'll pay the price on that one. Okay, before we do that though, there is something that is a higher priority, and that is, as I've always said to you guys, I always show you my mistakes, and I make them. I do make them, that's for sure. Like I've somehow not been able to figure out this. Oh, there we go. Okay, so the other day as I was talking to you guys, I got that busy talking to you guys, I didn't pay attention and I sent my customer the wrong item. They were so good about it. They notified, it was a pair of jeans. And I think at the time, I was so busy not crapping on, but talking to you, I picked out, I saw it was the right jeans. I didn't double check the size. I mailed them off and they were the right jeans, but the wrong size. And the customer was really good about it. And because I remember pulling out these RB sellers to show you. So I sent the wrong size out and I feel terrible about that. They were really good about it, but I still beat myself up pretty hard about that sort of stuff. Low rise, that's not it. The long and short of it is I'm getting it now to make it right for the customer. And they said, oh, do you want to get these back? And I just thought about it, I do offer returns. But by the time I muck around, by the time I send them this, by the time I do all that stuff, I think the least I can do for them, I just said, look, I know these aren't your proper size. I said, and I don't know if you resell or anything, but please keep them with my compliments and apologies. I'll send you your correct pair as soon as I can. But yeah, just keep them, give them to a friend, donate them if you want to, or sell them. So I've lost out on a pair of jeans, and these are the right ones that I was meant to be sending. So thank goodness, like I didn't lose. Even by doing this twice, I didn't lose, but I didn't win. I broke even. But I feel better doing the right thing. And I think letting them keep the other jeans and not inconveniencing them is the right thing to do. It is funny, speaking of returns, if you guys have bought something from an eBay seller and you know you can initiate if the seller does returns, that is something that you can do, but you need to initiate it. A little while ago, I did relay this to you guys at the time because it was interesting. A seller had a crack at a buyer, sorry, had a crack at me because I sold a book for $100, a hardcover book, and he's like, "Where are the rest of them?" And I said, "Well, the listing makes it quite clear. There's only one. This one's hardcover, and it was hard to get." And he's like, "Well, you know, other people are selling it cheaper than you." Great. I listed it when I did, and there weren't many, and the comps were clear that this was the price for it. So I did the right thing. Like I said, I always try to do the right thing. And I said to him, "Look, if you're not happy, I want you happy. Your happiness is my priority." Even though I didn't do anything, I didn't say this part. Even though I didn't do anything wrong, I could make him whole again and just list the damn thing again. I said, "If you're not happy, I do free returns. Send it to me." And he goes, "Oh, I'll send it to you." And I said, and then he didn't. And he goes, "Oh, I can't be bothered." And then I said, "Well, no, it's $100. I'll refund you." And to this day, it's now been quite a long time. He still hasn't sent the book, so that particular card is off the table. And no refund was initiated through eBay. It's been way past 30 days. So yeah, no refund on that one. But I try to do the right thing. Okay, now finding those shoes. They're silver, they're Django Juliets. Like I said, I'm just going to have a quick look in the tub. Nope, I did screw up. So I didn't put a tub location, which does make me think that they're probably in a bag. So we'll move you up here and I'll scope some of these bags out. Okay, so they're size 11. Firstly, that's an unlabeled bag there. That's women's size 8s. So I have a feeling if it's going to be in one of the tub bags, it may be one of these ones. Well, that's encouraging. There's one of them. And there is the other. So I paid $3 for these Djangos, and I took an offer for 30 plus postage. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I actually was low-key sweating that I would forget to collect that. So that ends well. I'm happy. Okay, so what we'll do is I'm just going to check the eBay machine quickly to make sure there's nothing else I need to grab right now. I don't think there is. Nope, that's it. So I'm gonna pack away some of the stuff that we can pack away. Whip pack away, whip pack away, whip pack away. Okay, so, okay. Then we'll chuck some of these shoes into the little tubs. It's not going to fix the whole problem, but then some of them I'll be able to swing out, because I do find that the weight of some of these bags is actually not the best for the back. So we will fix part of the problem and future-proof ourselves a little bit. Because as frustrating as I have found the shoe process, I did it to myself, bought way too many, way too fast. But I can tell you guys right now that every single shoe sale is profitable. So if you're looking for a market to get into and you can buy them at the right price and you get the right ones, I still can't tell you not to do it, because it's profitable. It just ticks over slowly. And I haven't been listing them enough because I've been clearing other stuff because I don't have the room in the tubs till now to be listing a lot of shoes. Lesson learned. And I think that is the thing, no matter who you listen to, or how much of an expert that they try to present themselves as, they're making mistakes like I do. They're contradicting themselves like I'm sure I do on occasion. But I think the thing that I pride this group on is that when we screw up, we tell each other. Even in the comments, you guys say, hey, no, I did that and it was wrong. As in not critiquing myself, but telling me something and then realizing it's not right. So I think for there to be positivity in what we're doing, transparency is the key. You know, I think it is hard that, you know, there are so many gurus that when I got started doing this, I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like for a normal person. Well, as normal as I can be, but just a person trying to learn. So I hope the insight has been of value, and I'm guessing it has. You know, we're heading towards 2,000 subscribers, slowly but surely. I'd love to hit that in a couple of months. I think that means I'd need another 140 subscribers. No, sorry. Was that right? Yeah, that's right. 140 subscribers roughly needed to get to 2,000. So if you guys are any good with your social media, or you feel inclined to help promote the channel, so grateful if people could help. You're so helpful with the fact that you even stick with me for all the shows. But yeah, if anyone is in a position that they can, you know, post on their own social media, hey, watch this guy, he's helpful, or watch this guy, he's bloody useless. Almost any publicity is good publicity, you know. Got some good shoes in here. I really like. I'm glad I'm tubbing them. These tubs don't hold much, but it'll take a little bit of the back break away. Excuse me. It's like these shoes, for example, I need to give them a clean, but they comp for $300. Brand new, they're about 500. So yeah, these are Onitsuka Tigers. They've hardly been worn, but they have had rain spots on them. And I think if I saturate them and then dry them quite methodically, you may not be able to see it in the, you can, just in real life, that's a lot more pronounced, those little marks. So I'll get them clean and get them listed. But yeah, lots of neat shoes in this pile. You know, I've even got Jackaroo boots in here. So they need to go home and have a clean. And everything like that helps and is helpful. Like, you know, I think Converse are losing a little bit of their shine online. I still know they sell, but not for the dollars they did. But when you're looking for stuff, just make sure there's plenty of tread on them. If you're paying $3 to $4, you might get 25 for them, as long as they're in good nick. So shoe quality matters. Some people spray them out with disinfectant or tea tree oil. It doesn't hurt to put those silica gels in, because sometimes, you know, you don't know what people's feet have been doing in them. Other than wearing them, of course, but you might want to make sure that they're not rotting in your shoe bags. But yeah, see, I've even got premium brands in here that I need to be dealing with, like Frankie 5s. Frankie 5 is a brand to look for, Frankie, the number 5. Look for them. They're a premium shoe. Most of the time when you stare at them in the Oppo, unless you're looking carefully, you will pass by your Frankie 5s unless you're into shoes. They are fairly nondescript, but they fetch you a good dollar. So that's a hot shoe tip for you in terms of sneakers, Frankie 5s. Generally for blokes, your good quality leather shoes go nicely. Otherwise, you're doing your runners. An area that I don't see covered as much, I could be wrong, it's just my little glimpse, are the ladies' runners. That's something I may need to do a bit of research into. I have not sold a lot of women's runners. I do have a fair few pairs of them, but I don't know if it's more that ladies like to buy their dress shoes on eBay as a rule, but that's certainly something that can be looked at. Brands like Easy Steps that are more of a comfort shoe, they are a practical, good quality, hard wearing shoe. They're good ones to look for as well. But look all day long, but if you're not listing them, I guess they're all worth nothing, aren't they? That's why I do need to come good on my own spouting and get on to listing literally the tubs of money that are right here. To quote Fatboy Slim, I think it was, right here, right now. Look, it held enough shoes to make me know this is the right step to take. It's now on wheels. It's one bag I don't have to carry. This will all just be a learning process, guys. As we move to the new offsite, it's going to be a matter of as finances allow us to get more, to eventually get more shelving, but initially it will just be the fact that I'm able to get a little bit of order and not have to do this, and things will be easier to find. I've got a pair of Heelys here. I don't know how I feel about them. Why do I say that? Heelys are the ones that where people lean back on their heels and there's a wheel, but a lot of Heelys get quite worn because you use the back of your heel literally to brake, and not like hip hop. So, leather Converse. If I can find the pairs for these, that would be better again. These are cute. I love these ones. They're leather Nikes, ladies' shoes. There's the other pair of the Heelys. There's the other leather Connie. Okay, so one time at the Salvos, I've got a pair of, 2 pairs of Tommy Hilfigers. Until I find the second one for that, I'm not putting that there. I'm going to make sure at the moment the tubs only get pairs, because there's no problem, there's every problem with me just shoving stuff in and then it not working. There's the other Onitsuka. Beautiful clompers. When I bought them for 12 bucks, I wanted them to fit me, but they're just a bit too small, because I would totally wear them like Mr. Men shoes. Bloody awesome. Yeah, I do. I need to pull my finger out on some of these. Leather Adidas shoes in top nick, plenty of wear still on them. If you guys are curious about getting into shoes and you wonder, you find it overwhelming, or you think, oh, I don't know how to clean these. I did do a video on how to clean them. Just go back on on the channel, just look at cleaning shoes, and you'll be sorted in no time. Though, having said that, the sort of cleaning that I was showing on the video, I would only really go back and I would go to that extent if they were very high-end shoes. Otherwise, just give them a quick scrub, price them fairly, and get them out the door. Unless you're niching only into sneakers, in which case, of course, your stock should be pristine, because shoe sellers we can all get repeat business, but shoe sellers, like, people wear out their shoes. You might find out that over time that the same person buys off you 2, 3, maybe 4 times a year, depending on what they're doing. And this is another thing that is beautiful about eBay, is that we can reach out to our customer base and talk to them. You can send newsletters if you've got a store subscription. I don't know if you can do that if you don't. I don't think so. I think I answered this question the other day, but I would still, they're good shoes too. I've got to start taking the boots home because it's getting colder. Today's beautiful though. Yeah, boots and winter sort of clothing. I need to get onto it. I was asked the other day by someone who had basically just sort of started getting into it, what did I think about store subscription? And my answer just boiled down to, it all depends on how serious you think you're going to get, and if you can afford the $25 per month investment. If you can afford the investment, I would recommend it. I do think it gives you perks and benefits that, to be honest, I do not tap enough. It lets you customize your store, lets you put categories on the front. It can actually make your store a more appealing place to visit. Now, no wonder I was hurting my back. I'm up to tub 3 and I'm still in the one bag. So, doing this has actually been a super helpful lesson. Because it sort of lets me know that I need to work a lot more in this, because I've got some good ones. Now, I've got a really, really bad feeling. These are K-Swisses, but I do have a horrible feeling that these are fake. Even though they feel quality, but up here, I'm gonna clean these. I think that's glue that's leaked out from the bottom, and a pair of K-Swisses that are extreme, like this model comps for $150 used, but not with glue coming out the sides. I doubt it's real, but it may not be glue, it may be varnish or something the previous owner was wearing, and as a result, that is a mystery that I'm keen to find out. weird brands like this, leather sort of runner shoes like Piccolinos, they'll do well. It's all about like durability, the materials being used. But no, it's always interesting just to learn as you go. Now these Adidas were in fairly good nick, but they didn't have the shoelaces. They may be something I assess as maybe redonating. I don't know. I think the op shop could still get $6 for these, or I'll buy a pair of shoelaces. I don't know. I'll think about it. This brand Rolly does well, so just another one for you to look out for. Is it an absolute bolo? No. It's just that they're good quality. And for now, because those Adidas are a pair and they're in good condition, they'll still get a home in the tub. One solitary shoe there, two more here. So this is good. These are not paired. I'll work on getting another. I think this is an unlisted tub. Yeah, these are Florsheim shoes, men's, in really good nick. So, leather boots, leather shoes. I know in one of the tubs I've got emus. So, over the weekend, I think I should make sure that at least one tub of shoes, or 50, get processed. These are the UGG branded boots. Woolen, very high quality. Plenty of tread still left on them. Out of these tubs, I may even go back through them off camera, not today. I may just pull the wintry sort of shoes out to sell. And while I'm talking shoes, something else that is neat. Oh, these are Country Road slip-ons, sort of a moccasin style. Something else that I do still have shoes at home also that are in a tub, just not listed, so I'll work on them as well. Big pair of Croft men's. That's a huge size shoe, size 44. 44 men's, that's bigger than my foot even. I tend to be between a size 12 to 13. Suede boots in really good condition. When you're photographing these sorts of things, guys, if you do make that part look as full as possible, stuff newspaper down it, or even get those swimming pool noodles and shove them down there. But yes, especially with the season it's changing, I've got some banger shoes in here, so they may need to be the priority again for a while. Particularly if I'm trying to aim for winter, it's better that I get them happening in the autumn, which will encourage people who are looking to change their seasonal wardrobe. And hopefully let me make some money out of these things, because I invested hundreds and hundreds into them. So I want to get thousands and thousands out of them. Which is certainly what I would consider to be a very fair expectation considering the brands that I'm carrying. Are you guys selling shoes? What sort of stuff do you look for? I am just talking sparingly about this sort of thing, and it's not even that I'd be running out and doing a shoe thrifting episode with you for a long time, because of the simple fact that I don't need to. I've pretty much got a very small shoe shop. I've said that before though, like I find that to be super interesting in that, like, you know, when I started getting into this, I was still working for other people, but I remember saying to Ali, like, I'd always thought it'd be really cool to have my own bookshop. And she quite rightly pointed out that, well, I do. It's just online. And also never want to be like, you know, Amazon or anything like that. I do have my own little bookshop. These I think will be thrown out. They'll hold on to them to take them home, little bluey gum boots. But they do a paint or something on them. I might try to get that off. They're cute. Got these Barter branded gum boots. I saw Barter gum boots at bloody Lifeline the other day for $50 used, absolutely caked in mud. Absolutely caked in mud. And they also had a couple of pairs of, what was it? They had a couple of pairs of Blundstones. And I was shocked. I said to the guy, because there was no price on them, I said, oh, you know, how much are these, please? He gave me the price, you know, use my manners. All right, these are not paired. This is good. It's horrible, but it's good. I'm finding pairs that I need to, things I need to pair up. I said how much are these, and he did the Blundstones for $15 a pair. I went to buy them, then I comped them, and like you could buy them shipped for $20. Blundstone gumboots with hard toes. It does really show us though that, you know, when it comes to buying stuff, you're sort of mad if you don't at least consider looking on eBay. Like, even if you're not a seller or whatever, if you're just watching this for a bit of thrifting fun, you'd be mad to not look on eBay first. Okay, so that F1 is a proper accounted for tub. This is just a badly broken bag. We're almost done, guys, so I'm just trying to get some of these sorted, basically to, one, make it easier to take them home to list, and two, that I'm not just hurting myself every time I move stuff around. And I think it has been a good little lesson, just even buying these tubs. I've cleared 2.5 big bags into 4 tubs, and all that means is, you know, I'm not going to be hurting myself moving them around. I'm always worried when I buy these boxes in bulk. Like, there's been times that we've bought 30 at a time when we were getting this place set up. I'm just like, oh no, if I count the wrong amount of, there we go, isn't that easy? Yeah, I know, it's stupid and it's obvious, but it makes me happy. Yeah, I always worry that I either bring home a broken tub, which, as you guys know, is all too easy and common, or I don't get enough leads. That was awesome. Oh, that was awesome. So much easier. I most certainly do need to get more tubs over time, but I think even today doing this has reminded me just how profitable my shoes can be. And something that I heard a another YouTube reseller say, and I don't know if it's true, but they were saying if you are an anything seller, meaning you're like me and you just buy what will make you some money, then say you stop listing shoes, for example, then apparently their argument is if you stop listing stuff like that, that the algorithm will stop pushing your items of that niche when people are searching. I don't know if that's true, but if you're still listening after all this time, I would be really keen to know your thoughts and if you've experienced that. These are the coolest pair of Adidas shoes. They're not listed. I took them to the market multiple times. They were a crossover that they did with Vespa, and they're cool as hell. They're a bit on the small side, but at the market, because it is a market, I could not get anyone interested in them. Yet I just know that once they hit eBay, as long as I do the right price, I believe they will move very quickly. Oh, this is way better. It's so light, so light. More sort of boat shoes. All right, so this may be the plan there. Go home, I've got some stuff that I have to finish getting ready for listing. From there, I might grab one of those shoe tubs from the bedroom and throw it through. Oh, you've got to be kidding. That's a long story. This is a pair of shoes that a while ago I had to cancel an order because the ones that I got out I didn't think were good enough for the customer. I totally forgot I actually had another pair of shoes, another pair of these shoes. So I might contact that lady and see if she wants these ones, and if so, I'll just do a quick just for her listing. It's still a win, but yeah, I was unhappy with the buckle on the back of the others. And they must have been upset about it. They didn't give me negative feedback, but they never answered either. Which sometimes is like a bit of a downer, particularly if you try your best. But at the end of the day, they did their part of the deal. They paid me, I just didn't deliver. And as I said to you, like that stuff, pretty much, unless you're getting ripped off by a scammer, pretty much every mistake, sadly, that we make on eBay is our own fault. It is all learning, but it's still our fault. All right, guys, going to pack up now. We've got our things, which is awesome. We're a bit more organised, which is even more awesome. I'll be uploading this for channel members today on Wednesday. You guys, the rest of you will see it on Thursday. If you're still here, I doubt most of you will be by now. Don't blame you. Consider becoming channel members, please. You get early access to the videos, little blog posts, stuff like that. They're irregular, but they happen, and it just helps. Okay. And to all my current channel members, thank you so very much, even if you're in the future and not today. At the moment, I am blessed. I have got, we just hit 18 channel members, which is awesome. If you wonder what that is, it's sort of like being a member of the channel. Like, I know it sounds stupid, but being in a little club that you get a little bit extra, that you want to see a bit more behind the scenes, or that you want to encourage your favorite creators to keep making content. And I think sometimes that is what pushes me on days where I go, oh, I'm busy, I don't know if I want to do a video. And then I go, all these people sort of you know, we all rely on each other for company. So I do the video and put it up. All right. That's everything, guys. I'm going to be closing this up. Thank you so very much for watching, as always. We chatted a lot about nothing, a little bit about something, and everything in between. I'm going to be doing a video at some stage soon, probably a live, where I do need your help identifying transformers. Otherwise, Mark, I'll take up your offer of using your Facebook group to do so. There's a lot there. It's going to be overwhelming, but I think there's money to be made as long as they're complete. And I've had them for some time now, and I'm sick and tired of putting off what I should be doing. So yes, it's been hard because I have a lot going on, but it's all positive. So I'm embracing it and trying to embrace change. And even though I freak out a little bit sometimes, I get there eventually. I said that about the new space that we're looking at moving into. I'm freaking out a bit about it just because in my head, I have trouble envisioning things sometimes. But I'm like, no, I'm so excited for it too. It represents real opportunity for mine and Ali's business. And it's definitely a big step up for us. So, you know, it's a couple of extra $100 a month, worth every cent of it, in my opinion. Just because they've been good to us here, they look out for us. There's lots of security, there's adequate drainage. I wish it had electricity. I wish it had electricity. I wish it had electricity, but we'll work our way around that. All right, guys. Thanks so very much. I'll catch you later. See you in the next video.